Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Confessions of an Avoidant. And I thought I would make a follow-up video to the video that I made. I think it's called Avoidant Explains Why I Take Forever to Text Him Back. This is the part 2 of that video because I wanted to answer a question that I thought was an interesting question that someone left as a comment. So I'm just going to read the question, get my phone and read the question. Okay, so the question's from Tracy Kemple 2768. And Tracy writes, "Thank you for your insight. I understand the unconscious aspect of why you deactivate, but I'm wondering what is happening for you consciously when you receive a text and put it off for hours. What are your thoughts surrounding it when it comes in? What goes through your mind throughout the day, or do you have any thoughts about it at all? When the text is received, do you read it right away, or do you not even look at it until you're ready to respond?" So yeah, I thought that was a very interesting question, and I told Tracy that if I tried to answer that in the comment right there, I would have written an essay, and I love to write an essay. But I do want to say, of course, I don't represent all avoidant people. So the point of this channel is to just give insight into someone who has avoidant patterns and can maybe translate certain things about avoidant behaviors that you are maybe learning about. Okay, so let's answer Tracy's question. Tracy wrote, what is happening for me consciously when I receive a text and put it off for hours? So I was thinking about this, and this is such an interesting question. Because of course, yeah, when I don't respond to a text immediately, the thought of texting the person back does pop into my head in those 10 hours that I didn't text that person back. And yet I still don't text them back anyway. As an avoidant person, I feel like what's going on is I'm still not ready to jump back into texting. The negative associations of texting are outweighing the positive associations of texting, which I laid out in that video. It's not a conscious thing. It's a subconscious thing. And I think the best way that I can describe this is to use the analogy of a hangover. I think most of us have probably experienced a hangover in our lives. So imagine you go out on a Friday night and you're like so pumped to go out and hang out with your friends, listen to some great music. So let's say I had way too many gin and tonics. I wake up on Saturday and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm never drinking again. We've all been there. We're never drinking again, right? And maybe you end up meeting your friends for brunch or lunch that day and they have some mimosas or Bloody Mary and you're just like, oh my God, I can't drink. The thought and the taste of alcohol in your head and your memory, it's just, you're so repulsed by it. And Sunday comes along, you're feeling a lot better, but you're still like, oh, alcohol, no. And then Monday comes along and you've had a long day at work and your friend's like, hey, let's go out for happy hour. And you meet up with your friend. And by now, all of that yucky alcohol, toxic feeling, it's been cleansed from your body. And essentially, all of those negative associations and feelings about alcohol that you were experiencing on that morning of the hangover, it's like they're just gone. It's almost like you have amnesia and you don't remember it. By the time it's that Monday evening, it's like all of your positive associations with alcohol are back. It's part of bonding with your friend after work, bitching about, that coworker that's way too competitive with you. All the positive associations of alcohol are back. And that's the best way that I can describe this hangover feeling, like this avoidant hangover feeling of deactivating after texting. It's like, in those 10 hours, my subconscious mind is still not ready to re-engage with texting because it's still feeling those negative stored feelings around texting. Instead of being like, oh, this is an opportunity to bond. This is an opportunity to get to know this person better. This is an opportunity to talk about all the things we have in common. My subconscious mind is still feeling like, oh, I have to keep this conversation going. And that feels exhausting. And I'm so used to self-soothing on my Sunday morning. And I kind of just want to be alone. And now I'm starting to feel responsible for this person because they text back immediately as soon as I text them. And it's like still all of those negative stored associations with texting are going on. And of course, I'm not consciously consciously aware that this is happening in those 10 hours. But subconsciously, I think this is the reason why maybe an hour after I didn't respond to the text and it pops back into my head that, oh yeah, I should respond to that text at some point. I still don't do it because I'm still in this kind of avoidant hangover of this deactivation of feeling exhausted and disengaged and feeling the need to like have some distance from texting. And again, of course, if I'm in a relationship and there's an established rapport with someone and I know that I've made a commitment to that relationship to be someone's partner, and I know I'm like deactivating, I need space, I will of course communicate that to my partner, unless we're like in a fight and I'm having this no texting back thing as a protest behavior, or I'm just like mad at them for something or whatever. But I'd only hung out with this person 2 times. In that early of stages of getting to know someone, you're still in the I barely know who the hell you are stage. There's no commitment, there's no relationship, there's no rapport that's been generated from, dating someone for months and months and months. So when you are just hanging out with someone that you just met, it's very early doors, there's actually no obligation to adhere to some sort of texting rate or frequency. And a lot of attachment specialists and therapists and experts will say this, that different attachment styles will have like essentially a subconscious rule book for how frequently they expect to text when they go out on a first date or they go out on a second date. So with this guy, we didn't even go out on dates. We just met one time, and then another time we met for coffee. It was very casual, but I could tell that he was someone who was more into like texting back and forth and keeping a conversation going. And I'm just not that way at all. And there's nothing wrong with either of us for being the way that we are and having this different subconscious patterns. And neither of us is obligated to adhere to anyone else's pace. I just wanted to say that as well. Now, of course, in an actual relationship or when you've actually been dating someone for months and months, there is a rapport there. There is an established connection. There is more expectation. And of course, in that dynamic, it's fair of your partner to expect you to text back in a reasonable amount of time. And naturally, of course, when I'm in relationships and I deactivate around texting, I will, let my partner know that I need space or just want to be alone, and I'll explain why. Okay, and to answer the last question, when the text is received, do you read it right away, or do you not even look at it until you're ready to respond? So again, this is just me. I can't speak for every avoidant. Everybody's different. But when I know someone and I like them, whether they're my friend or there's someone new that I'm talking to, like this person, or there's someone I'm in a relationship with, I will read their text right away. If there's someone that I know and I have strong feelings for and we're fighting, sometimes I won't read a text right away as a protest behavior. Or if I'm mad at them, I won't read their text right away. If I've met someone and they're brand new in my life and I feel like they keep texting me and we've either haven't hung out yet, like it's still very platonic, barely know you situation, and they keep texting me, then in those situations, I will start to not read their texts. But again, that's just me. That's just me. I don't speak for everybody. So that's it for this video. And I think I've run out of things to say. So I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.